You're a C-suite executive trying to expand your organization's top line. This book is for you too. But because the fundamental unit of growth in any organization is the individual, our starting point for talking about growth is you. Some of the questions we will answer are, why, despite the desire to learn, can it be so difficult to start something new and stick with it? What does it take to gain and maintain momentum? Once we've made considerable progress, why do we sometimes tire of what we're doing and even feel we can no longer do it? Why do we outgrow things so quickly? The more you understand about your deep longing to grow and how to grow yourself, the greater your capacity to grow your people, to grow your company. That's smart growth. The S-curve of learning, a model for smart growth. In the early aughts, I met the gentle giant, 6'8" Harvard professor Clayton Christensen, and was introduced to disruptive innovation. This theory that a Goliath-like legacy business could be overtaken by a silly little David changed my thinking as a Wall Street equity analyst. It also revolutionized my thinking about growth. By 2004, I had been an award-winning analyst for nearly 8 years. I loved it, but I felt like there was something more. After an especially discouraging conversation with my manager, who wanted me to stay right where I was, I had a flash of insight. My current equity analyst self was the incumbent, Goliath. My future self was the upstart, David. To wake up the giant, I had to disrupt myself. It was revelatory. Disruption isn't just about products, but about people. If we're willing to step back from who we are, we can slingshot into who we want to be, who people need us to be. I codified a 7-point framework of personal disruption in a 2012 Harvard Business Review article, and then again in my 2015 book, Disrupt Yourself. The gist is this. Companies don't disrupt. People do. When we commit to the practice of deliberate self-innovation, that is, personal disruption, we accelerate organizational growth. My 2018 title, Build an A-Team, teaches how to leverage the power of personal disruption to build winning teams. I have now studied, written, advised, and coached about human potential for nearly 20 years. This book is the next step. Some people are intuitively proactive in directing their own growth, but even they can benefit when the process is made explicit. A map can jumpstart a smart growth journey. The S-curve of learning is that map. A little background on S-curves. In the 1950s, Iowan and social science researcher E.M. Rogers' PhD dissertation posed the question, why did farmers in his home community delay for several years in adopting new ideas that could have profited them? He found that the rate of adoption of any new idea is S-shaped. The initial rollout is slow, represented by the base of the S. If adoption reaches 10 to 15%, what had been considered novel will now be considered worthy of imitation. This is the tipping point of the curve. Beyond it, the diffusion of an idea can be impossible to halt. Adoption is rapid through this steep back of the S sweet spot, until about 90% saturation is achieved. With little room left to influence change, the pace of adoption slows dramatically. What Rogers regards as the seminal diffusion study still perfectly illustrates this phenomenon. In 1928, a type of hybrid corn was introduced in Iowa that yielded an increased harvest of 20%, was drought-resistant, and was better suited to mechanical harvesting. It took 5 years for the first 10% of farmers to adopt this innovation. But then adoption took off, shooting up to 40% in the next 3 years. Then, as there were fewer farmers remaining to adopt, adoption leveled off. Slowly, then quickly, this new seed ushered in the agricultural innovations beginning in the 1930s that led to a revolution in farm productivity. The groundbreaking insight for Rogers was that this type of adoption wasn't bound by the type of innovation.